everyone. I am here with my good friend Jigisha, who has volunteered to be my guinea pig as we go through a recorded demo for you. So rather than me just talking to you, Jigisha is going to be your eyes and ears and hopefully your voice. And she's going to ask questions in the hopes that these are the things that you're thinking of getting clarification on as you are contemplating whether or not WORX will be something that can work for you in your IEC practice. So as I promised, I was going to put this up. And so once it's all ready, you will have it, and that's what you'll be watching. So I'm going to start from the beginning as if I were giving a presentation to all of you on Wednesday. And I'll give you a quick background on me. So retired teacher from 20 plus years in the classroom and 11 admission seasons in so far as an IEC. And I'm located on the Central Coast of California. I work with students from all across, from everywhere. I've got them in all the states and whatnot. And I also teach in the UCLA College Consulting Certificate Program. And over the past 11 years, I have seen from other IECs and colleagues a continued pain point of not having a curriculum and a process, and them going out and creating and creating and creating and spending a lot of time creating, and at the end of it all, still not having a systemized process. So this baby was born in an airport lounge with a few other wonderful IECs. It was in the works prior to that, but they're the ones that fertilized that idea further. And I've been working on it for about 2 years, and it finally came to fruition. So Jigisha, thank you so much for doing this. Why don't you go ahead and just give a quick introduction, and then we'll get started.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nagla, for letting me be your guinea pig and kind of, just walk across the whole platform. I think this is amazing, not just for new IECs, but even for IECs like me who have been doing this for 6 to 8 years, but are definitely not as organized or systematic in their approach the way you have really narrowed it down. So I'm really looking forward to kind of just going through this with you. And I'm hoping that a lot of IECs find it interesting and intriguing to, something that they can add on to their practice. So really looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're going to start from the beginning. So if you decide that this is something that you would like to purchase and bring into your practice, what you would be getting is a folder, and it will be called College Planning Hub. You will open that up, and inside of that will be 13 modules and IEC Professional Advising Resources folder as well. For those of you that were on the call Wednesday and are still contemplating, considering, and watching this, you're going to see that there is a little bit of a change that was made to streamline, to make things a little easier to navigate through when you're on here. None of the content has been removed. It's just been a little bit more of a streamlined process. And I am going to give credit and kudos to Jigisha, who was the person who gave the idea for that. So I'm going to start off in the first module here. And well, actually, I'll start off here in the professional advising resources. Currently, it has 4 very generic PDFs in it that can be used for various things. You can use it as marketing material if that's what you choose to do, or it can be used which would still could be considered marketing, when you finish up with possibly a consultation in your templated email, you can give something to your client in that process of trying to onboard them as a client. So the first one is the 4-year college planning guide, which is for 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And it breaks it down by basically the things that we all know need to be done in a certain type of, time of year. I'm sure, once again, you guys all have this. You do it to some degree or another, but it's not in this, nice little pretty package with a bow on top, basically. At the end of this, I will show you how you can brand the PDFs or the JPEGs in Canva, so you can go ahead and put those in with your logo. You can put up here or in this corner. You could also put it in the backdrop and have it transparent so that it's on the back, however you want to do it. So that's what's in that first PDF. Then I have a 4-year planner guide, which talks about 5 steps to keep things in order. And then this is a 4-year course progression planner, which you could put a PDF filler on and have this fillable. So that's another one. And then there's an extracurricular guide. Again, these are very general. There's nothing magical about these. They're just general ones that can be put in any type of part of your system. So here are the time.
I will add here though, Nagla, for people who do not have this, or new IECs, or even IECs who've been doing this for a while, this just becomes a great tool or add-on for them, as you said, to send it out as their emails after the intro call, or to anyone who even fills up like an info sheet on their website or something, just to send them, so these are great.
Right. And that's another thing too. If you have yourself systemized where somebody calls for or goes online to book a meeting with you, you can automatically send them this in the email. And it looks very professional and it's like, oh, wow, I'm already getting information from her. That's amazing. The goal is for this folder, currently, this is what you will get. But the goal for this folder is that there will be more and more of these guides. I have one that I give out to my seniors at the end of the year, and it's for my seniors at the end of the process, and it's the 6 must-have docs that you should have, right? You should have a HIPAA signed. You should have a power of attorney signed, all of those things before your student goes off to college. And I have a guide on that. Eventually all those types of guides that I'm talking about, templated emails, I'm also thinking about putting in here so that you'll have a folder for all of those resources.
So now question, yes. So if somebody gets this currently, and then as you update the resources, will it automatically get updated into the resource folder?
I haven't figured that out yet because I'm not a techie person, right? So the idea is that they would get an annual subscription, and that at that, whenever that is, whether you do it in March or January or whenever you buy this, I have the idea and the plan of updating it in January every year. That's usually when we start in with your juniors and stuff like that. And so you'll have everything updated, ready to go for the next class, whether it be your juniors, sophomores, or freshmen.
Got it.
For my early adopters, there is the possibility that I will update them throughout this next year before next January. And you guys could be my feedback. Like this was a great guide, or this one, I don't see as necessary, or this would be or give me an idea of a guide that you want and I will make it. So maybe, again, I don't want to make promises because I'm not exactly sure, but that could be a possibility for the early adopters that it would trickle in throughout the year.
That would be awesome.
But the goal is that it would be a once a year update.
Perfect.
Okay. So then we've got all the folders. It goes from client kickoff all the way through admissions results. I'm going to start off in the client kickoff just for now, and then I'll bounce to any other folder that you think would be a good one to go to, Chigisha. So when you open it up, they're all going to be set up exactly the same. There is going to be a folder at the top And that one's going to be, again, named the same thing, Module 1, Client Kickoff, and then it will have the IEC next to it. And then below that, you will have a Google Doc with a red push pin, which has an overview and an email template that you were to send or to the student or the parent. And then below that, you will have the tasks. Some have 3 tasks, some have 8 tasks. It depends on which module we're in. And then at the bottom, there are templates that go with the tasks. So once again, each folder is set up exactly the same. So we'll start at the top folder. This here is with the little information icon, is the informational guide content that is used to create the 2 guides that are below it. Okay, so this here is all modifiable. You can go in and you can edit wherever you need to edit. And I'll zoom in so that way we can see.
And where would potential IC use this?
So this here is if you are unsure about using these guides here.
Okay.
Okay, you could then take this information and create your own Canva if you would like. You could use this in a weekly newsletter if that's what you sent out, or a monthly newsletter. You can decide that I didn't set this up on purpose this way, but there are 13 modules. You could do 1 module a month information for a monthly newsletter to go out. These are very, again, modifiable and given of general information.
And can you give me a look at one of the
Absolutely.
PDFs in this as well, so I can connect the dots?
Absolutely. So once again, this is the content.
Which I can use for a newsletter or
Right.
email or broadcast that I'm sending out.
Absolutely. And here is that content is on this PDF. I just made it pretty and put it down in structural forms here. So
Correct. So if
right,
I'm doing like a newsletter, this is a PDF that I can just modify it to match my branding and then attach it as a newsletter and send it out.
absolutely. And so I've left this square down here, right here for you, is where you can add your logo, your contact information, whatever it is that you need to do. And again, at the end, when we're done going through everything, I'm going to show you how to do that in Canva.
Perfect.
Okay. So that one is on organization, and you'll see here. So this one, says less stress, stronger applications, more opportunities. And that's exactly what is over here. Less stress, stronger applications, more opportunities, right?
Mhm.
It's just put over here. Same thing with the time management one. Little slight variation on the words, same content overall, but slight variation. Less stress, higher quality applications, and stronger recommendations.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's what's in that folder. Okay. So that IEC folder, all of them again set up exactly the same. You will have the information doc, and there will be a variation of numbers of PDFs. Some of the modules have several PDFs in them, and others just have 1 or 2. I'm sorry, all of them have at least 2. Okay?
Right. Got it.
Now, below that, you have, again, the red push pin and then the tasks that are below it. The red push pin is 2 things. The first is the IEC to-do list, so you know that this is what you are doing with your students. So if you have to make notes for yourself before you're going to get on a call with a student, or before you're going to have a meeting, or before you assign them whatever, and you have a checklist for yourself, this is for you. So you know, this is what I'm doing in this module, and these are the 3 things that are going to be covered here.
Got it.
And then right below that is the sample email that you would send to your student or parent. The way I do it is I send it to the student and I copy the parent. The parent doesn't get their own separate. It goes to the student and the parent is always stays in the loop in the process. Okay? In all of these docs, there's an area that says advising workspace in brackets. That's where you would put in whatever platform you use. College Planner Pro, CounselMore, Cindy Allerman's College Companion Spreadsheets, Grad Better, whatever it may be that you use. Or if you don't use any of those and you just use
Google
Google
Docs.
Drive and you used Google Docs and that's how you manage your business, then then you would say get familiar with your Google folder, right? Whatever it is that you would be, telling the students to do.
Right.
So I'll go back one more now. So that is, again, folder for the IECs with the informational doc with the PDFs, and then right below that is the doc that has the overview to-dos for the IEC with the email template for the student and the parent. And then below that are the tasks, the to-dos, the assignments, whatever you call them in your business that you would be then giving for the student to complete.
Right.
Right? So you're done with your meeting. You say, okay, I'll see you at the next meeting. And then you get off the call and then you go to wherever you need to go in your system and you assign them task 1, 2, and 3.
Got it.
Okay. So task 1, it looks like this. All the tasks are formatted exactly the same. They have the same process in them. So there is a title, there is a purpose. I find when you give teenagers a reason as to why they're doing something, they're better at complying. And then you tell them the steps to follow. And then I tell them, this is what I need you to do. 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
All the way down to when this is done, check done. So
Correct.
then I know it's
Correct.
done, right? So that's what that looks like. So I'm going to close these down. I'm going to go back to the folder. All right. And then there's task 2, task 3. Again, I'm happy to open them so you can look at them. They are
So now all these
formatted.
tasks that are these emailed to just the students or students and parents both? Or do you put them in this whatever software you're using?
So I'm going to demonstrate that in a minute, and it would be different for everybody. I send tasks as assignments.
Okay.
Okay. Because I want them to get done between one meeting and the next. So these are the things that the students need to complete for our next following meeting.
Oh,
So
okay.
their assignments. So in CounselMore, they're called assignments. In Cindy Allerman's spreadsheets, they are called tasks. In College Planner Pro, they are called to-dos.
Correct.
So depending on where you are and what you're doing, it's going to be called something different.
Correct. But this you can seamlessly just copy paste it and use it in whatever CRM or system that you're using.
Absolutely. And I'm going to demonstrate that in a quick second here. So again, format is exactly the same on everything. Okay.
Right.
To make things easy to follow. And then again, like I said, at the end of each, there is a template. So this is the template for your college planning organization. I have at the top here, if you're going to give this to the student in the doc form and you're not going to copy and paste it somewhere, then it says please make a copy so that they know that they're not using your original. If you use CounselMore, the software makes the copies for you, so you wouldn't have to do that. In College Planner Pro, I believe if you're sharing a Google folder with them, that their doc is their own and they're not then modifying your original, right? So again, it will be a little different wherever it is that you utilize the platform that you utilize.
Correct.
And so this is, I start off with my students and I tell them create your own professional email address because they've got a school email address, they've got a personal email address, and there's a lot of junk that goes to that, and I don't want my communications with the student to be ending up in a junk folder. So I
Right.
try to set the expectations from the beginning, and that's basically what what this is in this folder,
Mm-hmm.
for this module. And then if you have a meeting tracker that's already there, then I wouldn't use it here. I would tell them, go to the in College Planner Pro, and this is where this information would be found.
Right.
Right? So it's just to get the assignment or the task out to them. And then
Mm-hmm.
where you do that, whether it's in the template that's here, if you like this template, then go ahead and use it. If you want to use a part of this template and do something with it in your platform, then take a piece of it and copy it and put it there.
Got it.
Okay, but what I'm providing you in each folder, again, is the same. Each folder is formatted the same. So you have your IEC folder with the informational doc with the PDFs. Right below that, you have the overview and email template, basically the IEC to-do list and the email template. And you have that below that is the tasks for the student. And right below that is the template for whatever task, assignment, activity you're asking them to complete in that module.
Okay.
So that's how it's all set up. I will show you another module, whatever you want to see, and let me know which one.
How about we do application requirements?
Application requirement. I think that's the longest one, Jagisha. But
Oh, is it?
it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the biggest one, but that's a good one. That's a good one. So here are the information that's in there. So you can see this one has a lot more with regards to the guides, because there's a lot more to cover in application requirements.
Oh,
So
wow.
all the information is here
Mm-hmm.
for you to utilize,
Right.
right? And then the various docs that are in here, I have an application guide deadline for strategy on EA, ED, RD, rolling admissions.
Oh, nice. Nice. So these are great that they can be just used as PDFs to send it out.
Just send,
Mm-hmm.
attach and send. That's all you got to do.
Right.
Then I have one, there is a part, so this is part 2. Part 1, I believe, is an application process. So this may not make a total lot of sense right now, but part 2, why you want a well-prepared application, what the benefits are, finalizing your college list, requesting letters of recommendation, tracking your application requirements, all of that is in here. And then let's go back. I have a guide on how to create your Common App. There is no reason whatsoever for any IEC to be sitting on a call with a student who is about to go off to a 4-year educational institution to get a higher education degree that we need to sit on a call and watch that student create their Common App account. That's silly, waste of time. So here,
this is so easy. I mean, I can just send this to my students that, hey, before our next meeting, I need you to create your Common App account.
exactly.
And here is how you do it.
And then during that meeting, you can sit down and make sure that no steps were missed and that everything was where it needs to be. And then you can use that meeting time to be intentional with your student about building their college list, about talking about their essay topics, to build rapport with your student and spend the time valuably instead of, on we don't need to do this. These are young adults who are 100% capable of doing this on their own. I try to keep the things in here very general so that they're not too specific. But like I say at the bottom here, you can create your account and complete the Common App profile before August 1st if you choose to do so, but don't do any of the school specific stuff because there's going to be a rollover. So I remind them, do these parts, right? But don't start getting into the college search tab and filling out for each school.
Correct.
If you're starting that before August 1st. So I try to keep It's simple, but then give enough guidance there as well.
Right.
I have one for the UC, same,
Mm-hmm.
how to create your UC applications. With you being in Texas, I think I may pick your brain, although UT Austin is now on the Common App, so you don't have to do the Texas
Yeah,
apply.
you don't have to do Apply
Have to
Texas.
do it
It's on the
anymore.
Common App now.
I have one here on dual enrolled courses and
Mm-hmm.
like why they would be beneficial. So once again, that was a big folder that you picked, but that was good. That was good.
Right.
And then right below that, then lots of tasks. So once again, here is the to-dos for you. Know
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to cover 8 different things in this module.
Mm-hmm.
8 things that you will be doing with your student. And then here are the 8 themes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right.
So
Okay, just for kicks, can you do like just one of them, maybe strategizing college application deadlines?
absolutely. Just for kicks. So here you go. Purpose.
Mm-hmm.
First, we got to tell them the difference between all of them
Right.
because they don't know. So
Correct.
go over all of them. REA,
Mm-hmm.
ED1 and 2, EA
Right.
and 2, RD rolling.
Correct.
Your
Mm-hmm.
schools determine your deadline strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to come up with theirs first before the meeting. And then we're going to sit down and say, well, why do you think that that's a good strategy?
Okay.
And then I get to discuss with them my thoughts of what a good strategy is. And then together we come up to it with a strategy that they are comfortable with and that I feel they're making the best educated decision that they can have.
So if I understand the flow correctly, what you would do is you would make this as an assignment for them to complete or read or whatever
Correct.
before their meeting with you.
Before their meeting. I have my students complete task before the meeting so that my meetings do not go 2.5 hours,
Right.
right? And that my meetings are intentional with a purpose.
Got it.
So, and again, that's the way I run my business. Not everybody's going to do it that way. You may do it differently. And then I tell them, review the deadline options, determine the best strategy based on the admissions goals and likelihood of enrolling, and then update. Tell me where you're doing it, right? In
Mm-hmm.
College Planner Pro, CounselMore, whatever. And tell me what you think your final deadlines are. And you have to remember all of those places, all of that is editable. If they click on something, it's not the end of the world. We can go in and we can change it,
Right.
right? And then when you're done, finish that off, mark it done, and then that's when they schedule their meeting.
Got it.
So that is there.
Mm-hmm.
So all those are the tasks all the way up to number 8. And then you have application requirements worksheet. This is a template that you can use. They
Mm-hmm.
can do this for each college, right? So
Like, okay, these are the requirements. If you'll zoom in, I cannot see it.
right. So I've finalized my college list and categorized schools as probable target reach.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my terms. If those are not what you use, change
Change
them.
it. Correct.
For each college on your list, check off the components required for each application. Do you have to is it Common App? Is there a personal statement required? Are there supplemental essays? Do you have to upload a resume? And so this would be done for each one of the schools.
Oh, okay. So this is like a checklist for the students for every school that they are applying to,
Exactly.
which even before they apply to, they have to fill this out and know so they know exactly what are the things that.
So we have a strategy. So then they come to that meeting after I have them do that finalized list that they're doing. They've filled this out. Then we sit down and we discuss this.
Right.
Having an intellectual conversation about what the next 4 years of their life they're making a decision about.
Right.
So, and then when we're in it, I have an app tracker. A lot of you have app trackers that are already there,
Right.
but there's here if you'd like to use it. Again, all of this is editable. If you don't do these things, whoops, I moved something out of a box. Look at that. Let's not.
Nothing if you just change
There
the
we
box,
go.
yeah, it will stay. Yeah.
So, if there's things that you want to remove, then remove it. There's something you want to add in, add it in. This is all, customizable to how you work.
Right.
And then I do have a cover. So my students, when I have them request letters of recommendation, I tell them that they need to be professional about what they're doing, and that this is not just, hey, Mr. So-and-so, can you write me a letter of recommendation? So I provide them with what that looks like. Write a cover letter. Be professional. Learn how to do this, because it's something that you're going to have to do when you go out into the real world anyway. Right? So I give them here's a sample, and I tell them where you see the brackets, that's the information that you should be changing and personalizing for you.
Right.
But I give them somewhere to start.
Correct.
Most 17-year-olds don't know what a cover letter is.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's what all of these modules look like. Every single one of them will have that type of information covering what is the title of that folder.
Right.
So now let